Have you ever wondered why certain things in your life just don't work out? Why you sabotage relationships, destroy opportunities, and repeat the same mistakes, even though deep down, you know you're sinking? The answer isn't out there. It's inside you, in a place no one dares to look. In a psychological abyss called the shadow. Carl Jung, the father of deep psychology, warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. Today, I'm going to show you how the shadow effect controls your existence, how you sabotage your own life without even realizing it, and why, if you don't confront this, destruction is inevitable. Brace yourself. The shadow is everything you've repressed, hidden, and rejected within yourself. Your dark impulses, forbidden desires, your rage, fears, traumas, and shameful urges. Since childhood, you were conditioned to hide parts of who you are. They taught you that feeling envy is ugly, that hatred is a sin, that admitting weakness is defeat. So what did you do? You buried it. You locked it away in the basement of your psyche. But what's repressed does not die. On the contrary, it grows stronger and starts to control you from the shadows. This is the shadow effect. It acts like an invisible saboteur, an internal enemy, making you attract destructive situations, choose the wrong people, and build false narratives to justify your failures. The sabotage starts subtly. You claim you want happiness, but avoid everything that brings you closer to yourself. You say you long for love, but get involved with those who despise you. You claim to seek peace, but provoke fights, nurture resentment, and feed your wounds. Why? Because the unconscious demands expression. And if you won't give voice to your repressed parts, they'll manifest in twisted forms. The shadow sabotages you through your choices. You choose toxic partners because your shadow believes you deserve to suffer. You sabotage your job because deep down, you fear your own success. You get attached to people who reflect the flaws you deny in yourself. And the worst part, you don't notice, because the shadow effect operates automatically. While you live under the illusion of control, it's the hidden part of you pulling the strings. Jung said that everything we refuse to accept in ourselves, we end up projecting onto others. You feel rage, but won't admit it? You'll see aggressive people everywhere. You carry envy, but pretend to be superior? You'll accuse others of being fake, shallow, and ungrateful. Projection is the mechanism through which the shadow reveals itself. You point your finger at other people's flaws, but you're really pointing at your own disguised face. The people who irritate you the most, who disgust or obsess you for no apparent reason, are often mirrors of what you refuse to face within yourself. That's why some people get under your skin without logic, because your shadow recognizes them. And unless you confront it, you'll remain trapped in this cycle. The shadow effect doesn't just sabotage you, it also repeats patterns. Have you noticed how your life seems like an endless loop? Your relationships always in the same way. You keep making the same mistakes, attracting the same situations. It's not bad luck. It's your shadow recreating scenarios where it can express itself. It puts you in situations where it can unleash suppressed rage, feel the abandonment it fears, justify the victimhood it clings to. You are the architect of your own ruin. And until you illuminate these dark parts, the cycle won't break. Want to know where your shadow hides? Pay attention. The people who irritate you the most, the situations that make you feel powerless, the thoughts you deny, the desires that shame you, the fears you won't name, all of this points to hidden content. The shadow reveals itself in envy disguised as criticism, in rage camouflaged by sarcasm, in pride masked by humility, and most of all, in the pain you refuse to admit. But to see it takes courage, because looking into your own darkness is like staring into an abyss, and knowing the abyss stares back. Most people prefer to run, numbing themselves with distractions, addictions, social media, meaningless sex, food, and cheap dopamine. But every time you run, the shadow grows stronger, and it reaches a point when it takes over. You become bitter, a slave to your own emotions, a prisoner of toxic people, and life turns into an endless loop of anxiety, frustration, and emptiness. The bill always comes due, and when it does, it shows up as emotional collapse, existential crisis, depression, addiction, or disease. That's the price of escaping yourself. But there's a way out. It's not quick, it's not easy, and it's definitely not painless. It's the path of integration. Facing your shadows, naming your demons, admitting you feel envy, rage, resentment, lust, and fear. Not to surrender to them, but to understand, to integrate. Jung said, "He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens." As long as you search for answers out there, you'll remain a slave. When you start looking inward, you'll realize the external chaos was always a reflection of your inner storm. True power is born when you can sit face to face with your own darkness and refuse to look away. Are you ready for that? Or will you keep making the same mistakes, knowing you could have done differently? Most people run. Most people die without ever truly meeting themselves. But a rare few choose the dark path. They choose to tear off their masks, open the basement of their soul, and release the chained beast. Because only those who confront their shadow can claim true freedom. The choice is yours. If this video resonated with you, it's because your shadow brought you here. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And subscribe, because here at The Dark Mirror, we talk about what no one else dares to.